Okay, all right, we'll go over to the mayor's report. Good evening, council members and members of the public. Just a few things tonight. I think that we had a pretty good meeting last night. For some of the public that may have known, we had a public hearing about budget, so we had some discussion about going into next year's fiscal year budget, and hopefully we'll get that approved by the next council meeting. I think that we're in some good places in the community, and I think that we're pretty healthy, healthier than we've probably been in a very long time. And that's attributed to a lot of hard work by this government, this council, and certainly all the department heads that work diligently in those departments and watching their spending and being good stewards. So just wanted to mention that. I think that we're in some pretty good places. I'm looking forward to the summer. We should have a pretty good, vibrant summer and some reasonable activities that we have every year. And we'll have some things out front as we do with festivals and festivities. And so it should be a nice year. I'm looking forward to it. One of the things that we want to keep pushing this year citywide is just continue to push the word that we want to be known as a city that keeps cleaning up. So I do know that there's some places where we need some tune-ups about cleaning up, and I think I voiced that to the council that, you know, every once in a while you have to go get a tune-up about wherever you're at and just kind of change the oil or whatever and get better at what you're doing. But we need to continue to clean up our community. I think that we've done pretty well, but we don't want to get beside ourselves and get complacent. So we'll keep at it, and we ask everybody to participate. And, you know, even, I know they say when it comes to crime and things like that, you want to, if you see something, say something. Well, if you see something that doesn't look good, let us know so we can deal with it and clean it up, straighten it up. It applies universally, all around the communities. Something's out of place, let's pass the word. We were pretty fortunate here in the last couple of weeks. We finally quit talking about, oh, Thornton's is coming, you know, and so now they're down on the corner, you know, putting in the, all the infrastructure to build a new service station down there that'll have a lot of other amenities that we can have for a convenient store on the corner that will service us. So that will yield a lot of different things in terms of taxation that we will all benefit from in the community, as well as having the convenience of the services that'll be down there and some of the things they supply. I'm not certain about when Dunkin' Donuts is going to open. It's a smaller venue there, but that's what some of these places are doing. They're downsizing, depending on the community, just like they did Walgreens. They downsized, and we definitely are just glad we still have some of those services like a Walgreens that are still there. But we should be hearing about when they're going to open up soon. So just two other mentions from me. The Markham Community Block Club is expanding itself where it's on the east side. It's been over there for a number of years, and there should have been flyers that got to some people's homes that look like this, and it says, come join us with the new West Side Markham Community Block Club. So we're partnering from the city to work with our community partners about forming a block club on the west side. So what that just means is just a west side of all the community members from everybody west, and that would be west of 294 as a dividing line. And that we would meet and we talk about the different issues in community and what we can do as a community better and neighboring better, and just opening up the lines of communications with her. So this is Tuesday, May 7th. If you live on this side of town, we'll be at the VFW from 6 to 7 o'clock. And so if you're available to come out, pass the word. This should make it to you in the mail before the 7th, or as a reminder, this will come out. I am going to invite everyone to come out this Saturday at 9 o'clock to have coffee with the mayor. I've done maybe like one or so, a couple of other different kinds of get-togethers, but we'll be in this room. We'll have some coffee, and I'll joke and say this is where you can come and kind of beat me up about something maybe I didn't do. But I always joke about that. I think we're doing pretty good, but it's an informal is what I would say more than anything else. And we'll talk about what the future is in the community. What are we going to do? Where are we heading? And I think that we're really in some good places about where we're going and how good the city is really doing, because it really is doing well. So no doubt about it. So with that, I will go over to the, I just want to say something about the Mother's Day event. That will be coming up. It was already mentioned. This is the library. Oh, you mentioned the park district. Yes, this is on May 3rd. That's always very important that we come out and really support the mothers. I am a little partial to the Father's Day event. No, I'm just kidding. But anyway, let's all get out and be supportive in these events to the mothers of our community. Many of our mothers that are there, and I know there's a lot of mothers that show up. They really are mother to me, a lot of them. And I'm really grateful for all of them. So I'd like to see everybody pass the word, and let's celebrate our mothers and their day, a special day for them in the Park District. And with that, I'll go over to the City Administrator, Mr. Champion.
Thank you, Mayor. Good evening, members of the public and the council. Mayor, I want to first begin by saying thank you for your leadership as well as the council. When I started here 3.5 years ago, I know that Markham was in a deficit. And I know that our fiscal agents, our treasurer, and our finance director has been doing a tremendous job in getting us back in good shape where there's a surplus now. And I'm really thankful for the council, so we have to, applaud that work as well. Just a few updates, you all. The council just approved an intergovernmental agreement that is going to be placed on the Cook County Board of Commissioners on the first week of May. That is because we received a $1.4 million grant for some improvements here. We're going to, $500,000 is going to help redevelop our old council chambers. We have $150,000 that's going to go towards a pump house backup generator, so that's important. And also $750,000 of that will go towards a water distribution center for improvements for hydrant replacement. The City of Markham, we are definitely pursuing grants continuously, working with our legislators down in Springfield, our lobbyists. We have put in capital requests because it is budget season for the state, so we have some capital requests that we are pursuing, and hopefully, it will get approved soon. So just stay tuned. We're really looking forward to Markham continuing to thrive. One other thing, man, I know you mentioned Dunkin' Go. I do have an update for you. I did speak with Mr. Shaw, the owner of Dunkin' Go. They're looking at a July opening date, and the only reason why it's going to take so long is because there's some equipment delays. So he's just waiting on some equipment. So that's a real-time update.
Well, we know it's all going to be new then, right?
Yeah.
So that's good. He's not repurposing stuff.
Right, that's correct. And with that being said, that concludes my report this evening.
Okay, that will conclude this area. Here we'll go over to aldermanic and ward reports, and we'll start with Alderman Barron.
Good evening. One of the things I'd like to point out is, especially west of Kedzie, is we're looking at trying to repair some places where we've had problems with drainage. The CUD ditch has really helped a lot, but the biggest problems now is going to be culverts. The city of Markham has actively been trying to fix our culverts. We've had some collapsed ones. The superintendent of the Public Works Department is identifying them, and we're repairing them. We've already probably done about 14 so far. The other thing is that one of the problems that's over in the pump house area is when they built those new homes on 154th Place, It kind of screwed up an old farmer's ditch that was there. And when they built these homes in, I don't believe there was any plan for drainage. And it's wound up being a huge problem. I took the mayor out a couple weeks ago there was a lot of water laying between 154th place and 155th. We have we have an engineer working on it, and we're gonna come up with some kind of solution there. But there's a few other places too that we're working on, and the other thing is we're working on grants for trees, for taking down some more trees this year. The streets, I've got a few spots that need repairs, but that's about it. And I expect weather agreeing with us, I expect that we're gonna have a good year on, working on trees, streets. We've got some vacant lots, that need to be done. We've got the machine for it, it's just, right now it's too wet to do anything with. So, because you have to get off the road. So, also, the VFW is having a pork chop dinner tomorrow, Friday, from 3:30 to 7. It's a good time and it's really good food. I'd like to remind everybody, to check your water bill, but we have, starting the week of May 6th, is Markham's cleanup. So, and ours will be picked up on your garbage day. It's not an all-week event. You have to have everything stacked out by the street on your garbage pickup day. All right, and I just, the other thing is, I don't want to see people putting stuff out a week before. I mean, that looks terrible. It's against our city ordinances, and hopefully everybody can abide by the rules. I think that's it, Mayor.
Okay, thank you, Alderman Bear. We'll go over to Alderlady Hampton.
Well, good evening, Mayor, good evening, Council, good evening, Honorable President. I don't have too many on there, this is spring coming up, and I did get an opportunity to ride my board with Scott Adams today, identifying quite a few things that need to be taken care of. Just tell everyone to please be patient. We did have a lot of rain, so we had some unusual heights of water in our community. You and I had to again address one serious area on Justine in reference to a small lake that we have there. So we definitely have to address that. Other than that, Mayor, I don't have anything of this in my report.
Yeah, lady, I'm glad you mentioned that. It did get away from me, so we've got that and another issue on Ashland.
Yes.
Okay. All right, we'll definitely get to it. Maybe by Friday. Let's see, Friday or the weekend.
Okay.
Okay. Okay. Good evening, Lady McDowell.
Good evening, Mayor and City Council and Markham residents that are present on tonight. Last week, we had the pleasure of going down to Lobby Day at Springfield. There's a particular bill that we went down to lobby to fight for, which will affect all of the surrounding communities in the state of Illinois. Mayor, today we met with one of those landlords for this particular bill for crime-free housing. I want to thank our police department. We have a particular officer, Mac, who's assigned to housing for the crime-free. And he really handled this meeting really good, because this is one of the things that we went down to Springfield to fight. And we need this bill not to pass in Springfield. It will affect our community. So I want to thank our police department for working with this. I want to thank our residents as you pick up the phone and call. This bill has so many unregulated laws that will just really hurt our community. So you all pray that this bill does not pass in the House. We were able to talk to our state reps to really voice our opinions. They need to do a lot of tweeting with this bill. Also, if there's anyone in the second ward who would like to attend the Mother's Day brunch, call my office and we can make that happen for you. And that is the end of my report on this.
Oh, lady, I'm just gonna mention, for the sake of the, what public's here, this is involving a crime-free housing bill, that's legislation that affects primarily landlords and tenants. And one thing for sure, Markham has it's definitely has a lot of people that rent, and we definitely want to be supportive to our rental community while still protecting the rights of those who are homeowners. And so some of what happens, it's a balancing act of trying to do that, and what happens, this particular legislation is kind of, it's in areas where it shouldn't be. Crime-free housing is one of these things where you're able to talk to the landlord about criminal activity at a rental property. And then you go through certain means that you would ask someone to move or to move out at some point. I think they've had some issues where the evictions were wrongfully done. And we don't support that. We don't support evicting anyone wrongfully at all. We would not want to do that. In fact, we're probably better advocators sometimes than even the landlords are, where we protected the rights of many of the tenants, where the landlords wouldn't take care of the property, or they would not be fair with the tenant with water services or anything else. So we've done our fair share of trying to be an advocate for fair housing, and we believe that. But by the same token, we've had some properties where there has been a criminal activity, and we've had to take action and take different steps to try to get the tenant to move on with the landlord and working that out. And we've been successful with that. And that's the way that you try to let people know that there's a consequence to when you have these properties, how you should maintain them and take care of them, and how we should all behave in a property. Whether you own it or rent it, we should all know what the standard of living is and do that. But the bill is a bill that's threatening to get rid of any right to remove anybody with criminal activity in a property. And it overreaches to tell us that they can be against certain codes and different ways to occupy property. So I wanted to elaborate on it because I don't want anyone to be misinformed of where Markham's position is about how we deal with tenant-landlord situations, because it can definitely be taken the wrong way. And we do not advocate against renters. We want to support them, but we want to support them in a manner just like any other homeowner. They should be treated no different, but they should act no different either. That's really the bottom line. So, go ahead. Anything else? Did I miss something?
No, you did great.
Okay.
If you want to look the bill number up, the House bill number is 5432, and the Senate bill number is SB 3680.
Okay, so that's just important to any community. It's not just Markham, but I can tell you there's people all up and down the state. I went to Springfield along with the all the people here, and it's a big issue along with other taxing issues that we're challenged with. As soon as we start getting healthy, the governor and the state try and find other ways to spend money. It is what it is. We just have to keep going down there and keep telling them, and be present. I can't say that honestly in all my years that I've known a council to be as active as we've been in all of the legislative affairs. Everybody's actively involved. So that's a great thing. I know me and Alderman Barron, but was it last year or so, we went to the Congresswoman's office. So we're everywhere, everybody. I can just go right down and say but it made me think even federally, not just state, that we're involved. And we have our Cook County Commissioner that is right here in town. So all levels of government, we're working with everybody, so. Good.
Right, and when
Thanks for
I
bringing it
addressed
up.
this bill in Springfield, I also let our state representative know, I'm not addressing the bill as a legislator. I went as a resident first and began to explain to them the situations that we have that's going on here in Markham and especially on my block. And after I got through with that, then I picked my title back up and went through the legislature. So please, keep that bill in prayer. If they're gonna pass it, a lot of things need to be changed.
Absolutely.
Okay?
Okay.
And that's the end of my report.
Thank you, Alderman. We'll go over to Alderman Bertrand. Good evening, sir.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. I want to say, I also want to speak, one of the other things that we did is when we went to speak with our Senator Napoleon Harris, who has a great majority of the city of Markham, we talked about the bridge across the I-57, which has been, there was a request made maybe 3 or 4 years ago, I've been told, and asked that he step in and get the funding moving so that we can repair it. The bridge has been closed, and it actually connects the 3rd Ward to the 4th Ward, behind the fire station over on City Park. So those are the types of things that we did. I also want to say that I am taking the time in the 3rd Ward, especially in country air, to identify trees. So in country air, if you see a tree with an orange X on it, it is being marked to be demolished, to be removed and stumped out. Please work with us as we go through this process. Last year, we spent quite a bit of money, from my understanding, almost $500,000, or a little more than $500,000 on just tree trimming and grass cutting. That's quite a bit of money to just maintain. So as we deal with these issues, work with us. That's all I have, man.
Okay, thank you, Alderman. We'll go over to public session.
Make a motion that we open the floor to the public.
So,
All in favor?
Aye.
Let's have a good evening, public. If you have not signed up and you want to address the city council, you would need to do that now. If you have, then we'll call your name off in the order in which it was received. We'll give you 3 minutes to come to the podium and address the council, and you'll be at 3 minutes unless they extend you. Okay? So good evening. Who's first?
Jalen is
All right. Oh,
She was first. I voted on it, she stopped after.
did you say her time's up already? Is that-
It took you 2 minutes to get over there.
Good evening,
Hi,
everyone.
good evening.
good evening.
It's lovely to see you all today.
All right.
I have 2 programs to talk about that are coming up. First, this Saturday, we have a candle making class at the library. It is from 12 to 2. I have a couple of flyers if anybody wants any. We got a bunch of new scents and stuff, so if you have any time, please come out. If you want to register, just give the library a call, and we hope to see you there. For next weekend, we have our Mother's Day painting sip. It is right the day after the lovely Mother's Day event here. It is going to be Saturday, May 4th, from 12 p.m. to 2 p.m. We will have non-alcoholic sparkling cider, because we are the library. If you would like to come, you can call the library to register. We hope to see you all there. If anybody wants a flyer, please let me know, and I will give you one.
All right.
Have a great evening.
All right.
Ms. Williams?
Thank you. As you were talking about the cleanup, I just wanted to thank Alderman Bertrand for his assistance as the Nature Conservancy has been trying to get some piles of things that are behind a home there near Sundrop. And we had a group come out last week. A company came out for they call it their community impact days. And Pastor Jones over there on 159th. He was very cooperative to allow us to put the dumpster on his property. And these people came, and the stewardship team of IBP went over and removed a lot of tires and concrete and you name it, and put it in the dumpster and removed it. So I appreciate that the leadership of all of the wards are very open and very cooperative with trying to do things that support what we're trying to do with IBP. So I wanted to say that, and even from the point of talking about the community Christmas tree that we've had and trying to do some things and what's gonna happen later in the year, but I just wanted to say thank you for the cooperation, for the ideas, and for the open door. So that's it.
Thank you, thank you.
Oh, one last thing. The young lady sitting back there, I introduced her to their champion, city administrator, but she is our community volunteer at IBP, Hope McKinnis, and she's on the west side.
Oh, nice.
So with this Markham Block Club thing starting, I'm hoping that she may be able to do it, but she came and interviewed for the YET program as the program administrator last year.
Wow.
And she has stayed with us, and she helps me administratively, and I so appreciate her, so I want you all to know who she is.
Excellent.
Ms. McKinnis.
All right, thank you.
Mr. Hart?
Good evening.
Good evening.
I am new to Markham last year. I live on the street, 154th place that the young man mentioned earlier. So I'm a partial owner of the lake when it shows. So this happens last year in the summer when we get a hard rain, I get a lake. It bags all the way up and across. So I finally had the ability to be able to sit in one of these meetings. So I made a few friends in the neighborhood, and so I don't know who the audience, I'm not sure how it operates out here, but I would like to just meet. I'm Reggie Hart, I'm at 3853 West 154th Place. So it starts in my house and it goes east, and then it takes up all of my backyard and the house next door. So when the lake shows up, we get the ducks, we get the deer, we get everything.
Right.
And then 2-3 weeks later, it goes down, next rain, right back up. So I'm just trying to figure out how I have to do to, because I'm from the city, so I'm not used to this.
Mr. Hart, you came highly recommended if you're with that gentleman in the back, so that's for sure. I can tell you your alderman is Alderman Barron here, and he's started addressing it, and we've had engineers out there on site. So we're waiting to get back how we're gonna go about navigating that. We did try and start cutting a swale already, so I don't know what's gonna happen the next rain, if it'll recede a little bit more than, well, I should say it. Oh, no, we got plenty of pictures. Yeah, we were out there with soaking wet, just trying to figure it out. Then we had to wait for it to dry up with the engineer.
Just to let you know what some of the problems are, and there's gonna be some unhappy people once we get a grade shot, because people they want their riding lawnmower to go right through the ditch. So what they've done is they've filled it in. So the water goes so far and gets to your neighbor who has started filling in his ditch, and it won't go to the next culvert. That's part of the problem. The other part is, what I mentioned before, there used to be a farmer's ditch between 154th Place and 155th Street. And this is when all that property where your home is at was actually vacant property. So there was a nice natural drainage. Another problem is people are discharging their water, and they don't want it going into the front yard. So what they're doing is they're turning their sub pumps and they're putting it in the backyard. It was not designed for that. Your ditches are in your front.
So it's supposed to go to the front of the house?
Huh?
It's supposed to go to the front?
I'm sorry.
He
said
says,
it's supposed to go
is
to
it
the
supposed to go to the front?
Yes,
Yeah.
that's where the ditch is.
Right.
And like from your house, it's supposed to run east. We put new culverts in at Hamlin, and then what it's gonna do is, it's gonna drain back into the prairie, which is where it's supposed to go.
Right, that ditch that's running across the front of your property, it goes into the prairie where it can absorb the water.
You know,
You can
and
take it,
so,
going to the east.
east, yes.
But like you mentioned, the ditch has to be redug because by that.
Yeah, so,
by
I
that
mean,
moment,
like,
it's all filled in.
Yeah,
like now, if I was to turn mine and like a couple more, if we trying to put it in there, we have 100% water every time it rains, because it pumps out and come right in there, so.
yeah,
It's like
it-
we got
Well,
6 in one hand, half the other.
There is
you
no
know?
one single problem there. There's multiple problems. The biggest problem right now, which the mayor engaged an engineer for, is we don't know if we have utility easement rights in the backs of your property, okay? Because your utilities are out the front. So that's being looked at. Number one. Then number two, we need to get a grade shot. We want the water to all flow the way it's supposed to.
so the engineer will point
Yeah.
that out. And when they do these plans where it's specific, it'll say, it'll even show where your discharge should be going on your house, you know, from your house. And it'll say what direction, house by house, how it should go. So we'll have a plat or a plan of everything, so that's what we're working on.
Do you have a timeline on that?
Don't have a timeline, but it shouldn't be in the next 30 days, we should have an answer.
All right.
Yeah,
Well, what I thought was important too, and the mayor took care of it, is I wanted the engineer to come out while the water was all sitting there. Not to come out in June and it's all dry and you can't see where the water goes.
Can you and I get together after this?
Sure.
Minutes?
Actually, when I get all the recommendations and what we're gonna do, I was gonna come over and put a flyer out for everybody to come out. You know, maybe we could go, maybe we could be here, maybe we could be at the VFW. But I know right now, there's gonna be a lot of sore people.
Well, I'm just saying, I just want to meet you personally.
yeah.
Oh, no, that's fine. No,
Yeah.
but I'm just saying, some of your neighbors aren't gonna be happy.
Yeah.
Okay.
After the meeting, give them your information.
I will.
Exchange with them.
I will.
Mr. Cox, let me mention something while we're in your area over there. Do you know when you took the picture of the tire over in a ditch line on 100? You're on 154
Great.
Street, correct?
Yeah, Midlothian.
So I tried to send that out to someone to tell them where to go. They didn't know where they were going. So we're,
No, it's awful.
trust me, they're gonna get it, okay?
Okay, there's no fight on that being Midlothian versus being Markham,
No,
because we have to look at it.
no, we're gonna get that cleaned up.
Thank you.
Yeah, that's no problem. But we have told them about how they're keeping the houses on that side. We had, the code people, have talked to them because they don't maintain the properties like over there like they used to. We're talking about Jolly Homes, that area, so we're working on it. But we'll clean that ditch line, don't worry about that.
And George usually once a year organizes the neighbors on 154th Street. They go and clean the ditches and,
We cleaned it up last week to the best of our ability.
Yeah, we'll get the other stuff out of there.
Thank you.
Okay. All right. Yes, sir. Thank you. All right. All right. All right. Okay, that's the end of public session.
make a motion, we close the floor to the public?
All in favor?
Aye.
Ayes have it. Is there a motion to adjourn? All in favor?
Aye.
Ayes have it. Good night, everyone.